So we all have, incomes. We can pay our bills. We have disability, and figure out, all right, so with that, why am I not really doing my own thing? Like really being creative and contributing to the world as an individual? And I thought, I obviously have to do this. Like, forget this employment stuff. Like, I hate it. I gotta do my own thing. So I thought, okay, well, what do I have to offer the world? How can I influence in a positive way? So I thought, well, every time I tell my story to people, they always are fascinated and they always want to learn more, and especially about travel. And I'm always like optimistic and positive, and getting my leg blown off was the best thing that ever happened to me. And when I say that to people, they're like, that's so crazy. What do you mean? How is that the best thing that ever happened to you? But it really was. So I thought, well, there's lots of people. So I started researching this idea of PTSD and post-traumatic growth, and how people just recover in general. And I found out that, so the news, it's always in the news. PTSD, vets are all screwed up, and we all need to help them. That's just not true. It's a political, media-driven thing.
Hollywood loves it.
But it's bullshit. So science actually shows that while you do go through PTSD, it's short-lived. It's like, maybe a year or less. But after that, most patients, most people that's been through any kind of traumatic event, when they get over a certain hump, they see tremendous growth from it. And that's what I'm particularly interested in, connecting those people. So this is how I propose to do this. I want to do it online primarily because there's a huge audience. I was going back to building a brand. It's very difficult to build a brand, right? So I'm going to write a book about my experience, about getting blown up, and like a detailed account of like recovering in the hospital and what that was like. And then I'm going to get into my travels, and that's going to be more of an adventure. So it's One Less Travel. That's the name of my business. One Less Travel, Survive, Grow, Thrive. That's kind of the tagline. So that's to build a brand, start a website, and I want to have a model of the best recovery model. And the Army has a resilience program, and they do just this. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to adapt it, and look at some of the other research, and add to it. And I'm going to come up with my version of the best way to recover through any kind of traumatic event. Whether that's be if you're recovering from breast cancer to getting your lung blown off in Afghanistan or whatever. I think it applies to a much larger market. And I want to bring the people that grew from it together. So there's, how do I make money? Well, if you come up with a good enough training program, and there's 3 levels. Survive, that's content in that. Grow, there's content in that. And thrive, there's content in that. So if you come up with a good training program like that, you can give away part of it and then upsell the rest of it. The other thing I want to do is you can get revenue from ads if you get enough traffic on your website. And what I would like to do is I would like to organize adventure tours just like I did that helped me actually recover. So if you, a cancer survivor or a veteran or whatever, and you were working, you were an employee, this thing happened to you, oh my God, I finally survived, I did it. I don't want to go back to a cubicle, are you crazy? That's just nuts. Well, I would like to capture them at that point and say, hey, let's live together, let's really live. And I will organize adventure tours to Central and South America, set up all the lodging, all the transportation, do everything for them. And we will tell those stories, and then I will tell those stories back to the public to get more, it'll be, a generator. So that's vaguely the idea. I'm still working this out, but there's a lot of pieces to it. They say, well, what do you want to do? I just follow your passion. I never got that. I don't know if that's correct either. I don't know if it's correct today. At least for me, because I don't have a passion. I'm not interested in one thing. I'm interested in lots of things, and I think that's good. And I think a lot of people are. So I follow my creativity rather than my passion, and that leads me to where I need to go. So.